Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox, and I'd like to welcome you to the Daily Compliance News. The Daily Compliance News is an offering of the Compliance Podcast Network. August 5, 2019, the Wells Fargo is sick of being taken advantage of edition. First up, turns out that Wells Fargo asking vendors who'd help get it out of its accounts, fraudulent account scandal, are taking advantage of the company. In an article in Dealbreaker, Thornton McNary says that when you enter a business relationship, you expect not to be taken advantage of, and that the vendors of Wells Fargo have been taking advantage of the company. So the bank is fighting back from being ripped off, and the article assures us that if you feel like Wells Fargo has ripped you off, then that not only will Wells Fargo, but the courts will be sympathetic to your claims going forward. That's going to be interesting. Next up, from the New York Times, the top kidney charity directed aid to patients to two of its largest donors. Is that a conflict of interest? So in conflict of interest number 437,000, one might think that this is a conflict of interest, but the American Kidney Fund has been doing so for some time. And in fact, now there is a whistleblower lawsuit unsealed in Boston that tells us the, unfortunately, details of this. David Gonzalez, who worked for the Kidney Fund for 12 years, accused the charity of creating a block list of dialysis clinics to make sure that patients went to clinics operated by large donors. So that's obviously not very good for the American Kidney Fund. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal, the Justice Department is looking into the nation's largest bubble wrap maker for its financial practices and its audit firm selection process. Sealed Air Corp, a Charlotte, North Carolina-based maker of packaging products such as bubble wrap, said in a regulatory filing on Friday it had received a grand jury subpoena seeking information related to the firing of its financial chief and the selection process of its independent audit firm in 2015. The fired financial chief, the chief was fired for cause, and the regulator is seeking information how the company selected its audit firm, as well as information on its accounting for income taxes, financial reporting, disclosures, and similar information. So things not looking too well for the bubble wrap maker. And finally, we end with the U.S. Soccer Federation's continued treatment, or I should say discriminatory treatment, of the U.S. women's soccer team. The U.S. Soccer Federation had signed on for a series of matches for the tour, the Victory Tour, and when the U.S. women's team added a fifth match, the U.S. Soccer Federation said, that's fine, we're not going to pay you at the tour rate, we'll pay you at a friendly rate, which was $5,000 a game. So it's pretty interesting that the U.S. Soccer Federation just cannot seem to do anything right when it comes to anti-discrimination against the women's soccer team in terms of their payment, because certainly men are not paid $5,000 for a friendly match. I released two new podcasts last week, over the last 2 weeks, Creativity and Compliance with Ronnie Feldman and Accountability, The Heart of Compliance with Sam Silverstein. I hope you will check out both of these podcasts to bring really a new dimension to the compliance discussion. As always, with the Compliance Podcast Network, we're expanding. We've got a new podcast out in the next week or so, so I hope you will continue to check us out and move forward with us. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio.